Namaste, thank you so much for having me here with you today, DITUniversity. A very warm welcome to the management, to our professors, our teachers. Thank you so much. Thank you to all the students who turned up. And a big shout out to the organizing committee for pulling this off in these times. Can we give it up for the organizing committee, everyone? Cheers to you guys. I'd like to start with a short moment of silence for the brave heart who lost her life recently in Hathras. So may I request you to please maintain silence for the next minutes. Thank you. You can choose to stand or sit however you like it. Let's just say a small collective prayer. Thank you. All right, so I wanted to begin this morning, which is now afternoon, with my favorite lines by my favorite poet, which I read back in school, called Robert Frost, and they stayed in my heart forever. This is how they go. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere, ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in the woods, and I took the one less traveled by. And that, my friends, has made all the difference. So let me tell you that I was the model child in school, okay? I was every Indian parent's dream kid. I was killing it at studies, I was scoring well. I was doing everything that I was supposed to do. I actually topped my board examinations and made it to the college of my dreams. Basically, I was doing everything that you're supposed to do when you follow a set pattern. Precisely, I was in a box. I was inside a box. Now let me tell you about things that I loved to do. As a student, I loved to paint, I loved to dance. I'm a trained classical dancer. I loved being a part of the debating society of my school and college. I used to always wonder that why is it that there's only one arts class in the entire month and two math classes every day? The answer that I've never got till date, baad mein apne professors se pooch lena. So then moving on, I want to now come over to a day that completely changed my life, to the first day that changed my life, which was the day of my college placements. I'm sure a lot of you students sitting here will relate to that. So, I dressed up in my favorite shirt and my pants and pressed it, ironed it out, and my mom helped me get dressed and put up my big smile and my confidence. And I walked into the room where these honchos from Google and some of the biggest organizations were out there to place us, to basically write our fate and our destiny. It was in their hands. So I was extremely confident. It was a smooth interview. I made it. 2 days later, I had my offer letter in my hand. So ideally, kya hona chahiye? I should be ecstatic, right? I should be extremely happy. This is the moment that I had studied for my entire life, right? My family was ecstatic though. I come from a very simple, middle-class Punjabi household where we need reasons to celebrate. Yeah. There was a feast, okay? Chole bhature, parathe, kheer, kulfi, because Sonam ki job lag gayi hai. So parents were extremely happy. But I know something was irking me in the back of my head. Something was disturbing me. I kept asking myself, why am I not happy? Why am I not able to celebrate this moment? So I lived in a small one-room apartment. And there was a store that my mom had converted into my study. So I locked myself in the storeroom and I kept staring at my offer letter. I asked myself a simple question. What makes you happy? Creativity or analytics? Where do you see yourself 10 years from now? What truly do you see yourself becoming? And I got the answer, guys. And I went to my father. I mustered up the courage to go up to him and I told him, Dad, I don't want to take up this job. And my father, who's the most calm, composed gentleman that I know, only said, he only showed me something. He didn't say a word. He said, you see that roof above? We lived in a small one room and he said, this roof is leaking. It's leaking and I don't have the resources to repair this. So we truly need this job. Even after this, if you plan on not taking this up and throwing away this opportunity, I'll still stand by you, but it's your responsibility and your accountability. So I'm trying to tell you that I never came from a place of privilege where, it's very easy to follow your heart and give away the security of a job. No, I didn't come from that place. But the thing with us creative, eccentric people is that we never follow a pattern, We don't follow a path. And I don't know, I personally truly feel that things are supposed to fit in a box, not people, not you, not I. We're supposed to, be infinite. We're supposed to do whatever we want to do. We're supposed to paint the canvas of our lives with whatever color we want. That should not be pre-decided. And I'm extremely grateful to my 19-year-old self, to that little girl who was confused, and she gave herself the opportunity to be who she wanted to be, not who she was supposed to be. Moving on, cut to 10 years later. But before that, let me tell you a little about my struggle in the field of emceeing, anchoring. It wasn't easy, guys. A round of applause for the anchor who introduced me. And now it is a full-fledged profession. Big up to you, girl. Thank you. Thank you. But back then, this was not a profession, okay? This was not a real job. It was not a real profession. So I had to genuinely go ahead and knock so many doors, make so many calls, wait for hours to meet people, just to convince them that you need an MC for your event. Not even that you need to hire me, that you actually need an MC. So I was not just believing in myself, but I was believing that this is going to be a full-fledged profession in a couple of years. I have performed at the most bizarre places, without a stage. I have performed in buses, in roadsides, in the remotest of cities that you can name and think of, in a mall, in a small canopy, without a mic, shouting at the top of my voice, without a green room. I used to knock a door in residential colonies and request, lady, can you please let me change in your home? It was super tough. But then cut to 10 years later. Cut to is the language in theatre and movies, which means now, 10 years later, I've performed in over 24 countries around the world in the most iconic venues, with the most iconic artists that I can think of, from A.R. Rahman to Shah Rukh Khan to whoever that you can think of. I have won all the major awards and accolades in my category, in my fraternity. And then that disturbance in the back of my head started again. It started irking me, What next? What am I doing? Am I again fitting myself in a box? So I started learning to act. Theatre happened to me. I started giving a lot of auditions. Then I cracked a role. I got a Hindi Bollywood movie, acted as the lead in that. It was a beautiful experience. I grew a community of lakhs of people online. I don't know, they call them influencers these days. But I think if you're a real influencer, you'll influence ideas and thoughts and minds and not just put pretty pictures out there. I also am an entrepreneur. I just happened to co-found a startup with a friend. Next, I want to write a book. So who did I want to be? A Google executive. What do you get when you Google my name today? Entrepreneur, actor, live host, social media influencer, and there's a whole lot of world of possibilities and things that I can do. Now I'm coming to the second day that changed me forever and changed my life. I'm going to take a breath. So, I was addressing a press conference for the first time in my life as an actor for the promotions of my movie. And, there was this young little girl who was standing there on the podium. I was really happy to see her. I was smiling at her. I was being nostalgic, going back to my old times and days and my struggle. And it was a smooth press meet. And I just waved goodbye to her before leaving, and I just smiled at her. And then something happened that changed my life forever. This girl comes running to me. And in our culture, we bend down and we do this, hamare maa baap ko, ya jinki hum izzat karte hain. The girl bent down and she touched my feet. And when somebody does that in your 20s to you, you don't know how to react, right? Because I never saw myself like that. I never put myself on a pedestal. I was so busy working and running and following my heart that it escaped me that in the process, I was actually influencing young minds, their career choices, their life paths, their thoughts, their ideas. That day changed me forever. That day made me realize that our job as entertainers, as creative people, and by creative people, I don't just mean actors or anchors, I mean artists, I mean dancers, I mean painters, I mean lyricists, writers, poets, everybody, we have the power to create a larger impact. We have the power to actually impact people's choices in life. If you're an entertainer and you're only entertaining, I respect you and I don't judge you. But that day taught me that as an entertainer, that as an artist, I could create a bigger impact out there. I could contribute to the social fabric of the society. That I could add grace to the society. And I think we should use every opportunity, every stage, every moment of the camera to do that. That we should set a good example. So today, I'm a sustainability advocate. I'm an animal rights activist. I'm a vegan evangelist. I invest in vegan brands. Don't worry, I don't force my vegan agenda on you. I talk about sustainability. I support brands and designers that make sustainable fabrics like these. I'm proud to say that I do a lot of work for animals. I rescue and save a lot of animals, foster them, love them, care for them. This is my small way of giving back to the universe that's given me so much. So the point, in the end, that I'm trying to make over here is, magic happens to you when you let it happen. Magic happens to you when you don't let yourself be defined, by anybody, not even by yourself. Magic happens to you when you realize that you're not a thing to be put inside a box. I truly hope that all of you sitting in this room today, no matter what age you're from, what background you're from, whether you're privileged or not, you muster up the courage to listen to that one voice inside your gut, at the back of your head, to follow your path, take that chance, and take that leap of faith. Thank you.